found a map, a detailed chart of our galactic arm, with Earth marked by a single chilling word, monsters. The shock was immediate. We, the dreamers and poets, labeled as monsters by an unknown intelligence. The map wasn't an invitation. It was a warning, a cosmic quarantine sign. Who made this map? What did they see in us that terrified them? Other worlds were labeled thinkers, builders, dreamers. Only Earth was marked as a threat. It was a verdict, not a misunderstanding. We were the anomaly, the lone red flag in a sea of peaceful civilizations. Our assumptions about our place in the universe shattered. Denial turned to anger. How could they judge us? We looked at our art, our science, our acts of love, and our history of violence. Deep down, doubt grew. We knew our history of wars, atrocities, cruelty was our flaw, the violence we tried to overcome, our defining trait to the cosmos. The map forced us to confront a terrifying question. What if the universe saw us more clearly than we saw ourselves? The world reeled, united by fear and a desperate need for answers. The label haunted us, echoing in every debate, every sleepless night. Were we truly monsters, or was there something the universe misunderstood? The search for truth had begun. For ages we looked up, dreaming of connection, not just exploration. We imagined beings of light, philosophers, friends among the stars. Our science fiction was filled with hope, joining a galactic community, sharing our best selves. We sent out probes, the golden record, greetings in dozens of languages, a portrait of our better angels. We believed any advanced civilization would be peaceful, logical, eager for understanding. The universe, we thought, would welcome us as students, as kin. The map shattered that dream. The ones we hoped to meet had already judged us. Our message of peace seemed naive. Our outstretched hand met with silence. The golden record became a tragic relic, a dinner invitation to neighbors who had already locked their doors. Our optimism turned to isolation. The universe wasn't waiting for us. Instead, it was warning others about us. The dream of cosmic kinship became a nightmare of cosmic exile. We were alone, not by chance, but by design. We couldn't accept the verdict. United by dread and pride, humanity launched Odyssey's End. The mission find the map's creators, demand answers. The Stargazer, a marvel of technology, carried our best. Scientists, diplomats, soldiers, on a decades-long journey. Generations lived and died aboard, their lives shaped by a single question. Why were we labeled monsters? At the signal's coordinates, they found only emptiness. No alien world, no civilization. Then a faint anomaly, a small artificial object in our own Kuiper belt. The source was never out there, it was in our backyard all along. The Stargazer turned homeward, tension mounting. The object was a construct of impossible geometry, nearly invisible in the dark. It wasn't a relay, it was a watchtower, a beacon. Scans revealed its purpose. It broadcast a single command to unseen technologies. The message was clear: maintain quarantine. The truth was more unsettling than any alien encounter. We weren't just observed, we were contained. The journey outward had led us to the walls of our own prison. The universe had locked its doors, and we were the reason. The crew realized the real mystery was not out there, but within us. The search for answers had only just begun. The Beacon's archives revealed a galactic history we'd never imagined. Civilizations across the stars, thinkers, gardeners, solar system. Space-time engineering created a subtle, undetectable bubble. To us, the universe looked normal, but nothing could get out. Probes, signals, even ships, all quietly redirected or lost. We thought it was bad luck or technical failure. In truth, we were imprisoned. Our solar system was a preserve for a uniquely dangerous animal. The Federation of Ancient Species had built this cage long ago, watching us ever since. They hoped we'd mature, that one day the cage could open. As our technology advanced, so did our weapons. The quarantine stayed. The Stargazers' crew realized their journey had led only to the walls of our prison. The universe was full, but it was terrified of us. We were the monsters in the story, locked away for everyone's safety. The crew found one last file, the suppression protocol. The aliens had studied our genetics, isolating the markers for persistent aggression. The monster gene was fully present in only about 1% of humans. For the rest, empathy and peace had already taken hold. The problem was the 1%, those with dormant, dangerous potential. Throughout history, they were the catalysts for war and atrocity. The beacon did more than quarantine. It projected a field that suppressed these traits. It didn't control thoughts, but kept the monster gene dormant. It was galactic medicine, administered without our consent. We weren't all monsters, but we produced them, and had been pacified for generations. Our peace was engineered, our worst impulses sedated. The 1% walked among us, unaware of the power sleeping within. The crew returned to Earth, and the truth spread. Our cage was also a shield. Was the quarantine an unjust prison, or a sanctuary protecting us from ourselves? Without the field, would the 1% have destroyed us? The intervention may have saved us countless times. Perhaps it was a cocoon, giving the peaceful majority a chance to flourish. But paranoia grew. Who were the 1%? Anyone could be a carrier. Trust frayed. Every act of anger was suspect. The debate raged. Disable the field and risk chaos, or accept our protected status. Freedom meant facing our demons. Safety meant admitting we were broken. The choice was terrifying, and the world was divided. Now we stand at a crossroads, burdened with impossible knowledge. We know our peace is partly an illusion, enforced from the shadows. We know the monster gene is real, and the universe is watching. The stars are no longer a frontier. They are the bars of our cage. Do we disable the field, risking everything to prove we can change? Or do we accept our quarantine, living in a gilded cage for the safety of all? The stakes are cosmic. Our freedom, or the peace of the galaxy. Are we defined by our 99% or the 1% within? The answer will shape not just our future, but the fate of the stars. For the first time, we must see ourselves as the universe does.